What is going on, GBA Universe? My name is Brandon, and welcome to Week 2 of the Waiver Wire Show, a show where I take a Pokemon that was not drafted in the GBA League and tell you exactly why I think it should have been drafted and how I would use it in the GBA League format. And in this episode, we'll be featuring the hard-hitting grass-fighting type, Breloom. Now, if you look at its stats, they're kind of underwhelming. 60 HP, 130 attack, that's a big attack stat. 80 defense, 60 special attack stat, which in one set we're actually going to try and expose. The 60 special defense and the 70 in the speed. So it's got underwhelming speed, its defenses aren't all they could be, but that attack stat makes up for all of it, and the fact that this Pokemon gets priority definitely helps it out. Now, before I get into the reasons why I think Breloom should have been drafted, some of the reasons I don't think it was drafted is because Breloom's Tier 2 Mon. Tier 2 is something you kind of want to be bringing every week, and because Breloom's moveset is kind of shallow, it makes picking it as a Tier 2 Mon kind of hard. It's also definitely not a bulky Pokemon by any stretch of the imagination. It's not going to take a lot of hits, especially flying hits. It's quad weak to flying, and there's a lot of flying Pokemon out there with really great speed, so it leaves Breloom kind of vulnerable. And his base 70 speed definitely leaves something to be desired, but that being said, if Breloom was super speedy, it probably would be kind of busted. Now, for reasons I think Breloom should have been drafted, if you've ever walked onto a freeway and gotten hit by a full-speed tractor trailer, you kind of have an idea of what Breloom hits like. It's not nice. Its base 130 attack stat gives it the ability to be a wall breaker of immense power. It has the ability to take out walls like Umbreon, Ferrothorn, and Hippowdon just in one turn. And walls like that see a lot of play in the League format. Another reason being it gets stab priority in Mach Punch, so Mach Punch is getting boosted by stab, which is then again going to get boosted by the fact that Breloom gets Technician, which boosts moves with the power of 60 or less by 1.5. This means Breloom's Mach Punch deals more damage than your average Drain Punch, so, who needs speed anyways? But let's go over to Showdown. I'm going to show you some of the ways I would use Breloom in a League format. So here in Showdown, the first Breloom we have is actually a Toxic Orb Poison Heal set with Protect, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, and Bullet Seed. You could go a step further and add Substitute in for one of the moves, either Mach Punch or Drain Punch. This set just gives it a good way of regaining some health. The Drain Punch mixed in with the Toxic Orb and the Poison Heal is going to get you a lot of health back if you're taking hits. Breloom's not going to be able to take a whole bunch of hits, so that's why you have some HP invested. You could take some speed out and add some more into HP if you don't need all the speed. But all in all, this can be a really annoying Breloom for people to have to take on, because it's just regaining health, taking hits, regaining health. As long as it's not a flying hit, it's probably going to take the hit and then it's going to get a whole bunch of health back for the Drain Punch, as well as the Toxic Orb. The next Breloom we have here is more of a traditional set for a Breloom, I guess. This one's holding a Focus Sash with the Technician ability, Mach Punch, Rock Tomb, Bullet Seed, and Counter. This one's just got all out 4 attacks. It's got, you can run a Jolly Nature, an Adamant Nature. This one's running a Jolly Nature. So basically what this one's going to do is you can bring it in almost as a suicide lead or a suicide revenge killer, something you really want to take out. Maybe it's that flying Pokemon you have nothing else for. So you bring it in, let it take the Brave Bird or let it take whatever flying hit it's got to take. It goes down to 1 to hit the Focus Sash. You hit the counter and boom, that threat is gone. It's a great way to take out threats. It's a good way to take out bulkier Pokemon as well. Basically, when this Breloom comes in, the idea is for something to die. I should have named this Breloom CM Punk now that I think about it, but this one is the Life Orb Technician, Spore, Swords Dance, Mach Punch, and Rock Tomb. Finally, 3 sets into Breloom, and we're finally getting to Spore. 100% accuracy, put you to sleep move, and basically what you do with this, you Spore, you Swords Dance, you hit stuff, you kill stuff. You have the Mach Punch there to basically get priority, and it's a strong move. You could use Drain Punch as well, but I like Mach Punch for the priority because you're not rocking a lot of speed, and you have Rock Tomb to hit those dastardly flying types, So this one I have, it's a Jolly Nature, a speed maxed out just so you can outspeed as much as you can, because Breloom's got that base 70 speed. It's just not that great. You need to max it out if you want to really outspeed most things like in your speed tier. Of course, maxed out attack. You could also run an Adamant. Depends on what you're taking on again. Always make sure you can adjust to whatever you're taking on. But this one's going to hit hard and hit often, hopefully. Now, when I was making these Brelooms, the one thing I thought is there's a couple things that really hard counter them, and the couple things I thought of were Fortress and Scizor. So what would we have to run to, help Breloom out with those kind of threats and maybe catch people off guard? Because people usually bring Fortress, for example, as a defensive wall with Rapid Spin and whatnot. So we have Hidden Power Fire here on this Breloom, and we put 24 in a special attack. That 24 in a special attack is actually going to allow us to one-hit KO physically defensive Fortress. Now, you're probably going to catch the Fortress off guard because he's going to be expecting maybe a Drain Punch, a Focus Punch, but if you could predict the Fortress coming in, hit it with a Hidden Power Fire, and they're defensively invested, you just took out their physical wall with your physical Mon. So now one of the answers they had for Breloom is absolutely gone, and your Breloom can now just run wild. And this Breloom is basically going to do the same thing to an offensive Scizor. It's going to take it out in one shot, and you're probably going to leave your opponent pretty surprised. And of course, how could I forget a Breloom with Substitute and Focus Punch? It just makes all the sense. This one I have here is a Breloom with Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, Substitute, Focus Punch, Drain Punch, and Spore. Basically, what I would do with this one is Spore your opponent, put a Substitute up, and then just start Focus Punching. You're going to take out and do a lot of damage to a lot of things. If your opponent's not ready for it, it's going to do some damage. And that's the one great thing about Breloom, is your opponent has to prepare for a Breloom if you have it, and that means it's going to leave him vulnerable to other Pokemon on your roster, if they're not thinking about those ones instead. But that is going to be it for me this week, guys. Make sure to leave your interesting Breloom sets in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed to the GBA channel yet, make sure you do that. And you can also follow on Twitter. All that fun stuff will be in the description down below. And also let me know which Pokemon that wasn't drafted in the GBA this year you'd like to see on the Waiver Wire Show. So until then, I've been Brandon, and I will see you next week right here on the Waiver Wire Show.